Hello and welcome back to the channel. Today we are back working on the 2005 Ford Sport Trac. Today we're doing rear pads and rotors. So let me get situated, sit back, enjoy the ride. Okay, so here we are on the back tire now. Ouch. So here we have the rear and caliper bolts. This one is more like most vehicles on the road today with the front wheel drive. So it's just a rotor. It doesn't have the wheel bearings like the front did. Someone has slathered this thing with Never Sees. So all this silver is, which will probably be a blessing when I go to take things off. And yeah, so I'll set you down and we'll get this thing apart. Let's sit down. Give me the rear pads, please. Alright, so these rear pads, they have a clip that slides over the caliper, and then another clip that goes inside the piston. This thing is pretty well shot as far as that goes, even though there's a good amount of pad left on it. Now the next thing to deal with is the emergency brake, which if you look right down here, there is a hole, and inside there is an adjustment screw that tightens the emergency brake. So hopefully I can get in there. And loosen those brakes up a little bit. They are stuck on the caliper is stuck on it a little bit. They probably have a ridge inside. So it's going to be a little bit of a struggle to get this off, but shouldn't be too bad. Alright, yep. Wasn't too bad. Alright, so here you see the emergency brake. So before they had disc brakes, they had drum brakes. So these are the pads for a drum brake, and then they ride in here. So you know, you've seen my dump truck, or maybe you haven't at this point. But anyway, that has rear drums, so it doesn't have a disc brake that would brake here. The only brake it has is the pads inside. So there's no real reason to mess with the emergency brake pads. There's enough meat on them to be good enough. The caliper bracket is part of the axle, so I don't need to worry about taking that off. All it has is these two little rub rails on it, so I got to pop those off, put the new one on, get the piston pushed in, clean it up a little bit. The slides, they're both running free, so I will just leave those alone. There's no bind at all in them, so there's no reason to take them off, and we'll get this situated. I can get the rotor. And the brake clean. Alright, so here I have the rotor flipped around backwards just to make it easy to spray down with brake clean, and then I'll flip it back over the correct way, slide it the drum part over the emergency brake, and get this thing assembled. Oh, and I mentioned the star wheel. So right down here there is you can see that star wheel right here. That is the adjuster that when you spin it, it either spreads or retracts the pads to adjust the brakes. And the rear brakes only have a single piston versus the double piston on the front brakes. So we'll get that pushed in and get the new pads on and just put this thing back together. Okay, so I mean here you can see what the new one looks like versus what was left of the old one.
Oh my god, that's terrible.
Okay. Apparently this isn't the right one. This is the right way, it's just big. Is there another paper? Of course, I was going too easy. Okay, so I had to switch to a different GoPro, and the pads that I had were the wrong ones. So you can see on here that these are much smaller than the previous one, but they are intact, unlike the other one. So, and for whatever reason, this set of pads did not come with the guides, so I'm going to have to reuse the guides that are on the vehicle. And so let me get one of these, each of these together, and let me, I'm gonna go and get this finished being put back together. I'm gonna apologize ahead of time because this GoPro does not have a screen to tell me where I'm pointing the camera, so if the angles are bad, I apologize, but I'm doing the best I can. Let's see if we can put you over here, since that's the caliper side. Alright, so I'm going to have to reuse these slides. Definitely not ideal, but had a hard time even finding the right shoes for the right pads for this thing, because apparently Ford, in their infinite wisdom, changed the diameter of the caliper piston. So they changed the diameter of that hole sometime during the year, and there's no rhyme or reason at the parts store that they have that will tell them which one is which. So this, let me put the grease on the back of the piston. So there's that. And some grease where these slide over. And some on the other surface where it sits when it's mounted. Alright, so that's all greased up. So this pad goes in. And it slides in and pops in. And this one here, so this one just went in, slides in, and this one here, these little tabs here, go down like that. Comes over, and go grab me the other back one. Okay, and apparently these are sided. So let me get that one off. So you can see that notch there. There's one for the left and one for the right, and I chose poorly. Alright, so now that's in there, so. Move the slides out of the way. There we go. And there. That's better. So that moves. We throw these bolts in. Make sure I don't have a twist in the brake line. Move you over here. Need to get in there. Ouch! All right. Got that one started. Again, I apologize if the camera angle isn't the best. Like I said, this camera doesn't have a screen on it to tell me what I'm actually pointing at. Trying to get the bottom one in position. It started. It does not want to. Ouch. Loosen this one up again. I'm not sure. Let me take it off and see what's going on with it. Okay, what happened was this boot folded over and was blocking the bolt hole. Now it should go on easier. Wow, it's amazing what happens when things aren't blocking the holes. Much easier. But it's something to keep in mind that if things are not going smoothly, there's most likely a good reason for it, and just to slow down and take things off if you have to and just confirm that everything is mounted correctly. And there's that wheel brakes done. So, just the other side to go. Thanks for watching. God bless.